I think an emotional win for our seniors, a terrific win for our basketball program, and an unbelievable crowd here this Saturday afternoon. Really, really appreciate everything our community has done to support us and help us in today's game, and the student section was the best I think it's been all year. So I think when we got down early, I thought that crowd really helped us when we got together and made a few baskets to get back in the game. Questions?
Emotionally, did this one feel different from your perspective?
You know what? Not so much. I think that the crowd really helps. You're right. So maybe in that respect, you feel a little bit more pressure to make sure you're sending people home happy. We've played a lot of games this year. We've been in every game, and we haven't always played really, really well. I thought today, as an undermanned team, out a couple starters, that we played well at both ends. Not early, obviously, not to start the game, but we really challenged them, William & Mary. But I was really grateful that we could send that crowd home on our last regular season game 2 years in a row. We recognized the challenge in front of us, which is significant, to turn around and beat them again, having just played them today. I think that's really one of the hardest things in sports to do. We didn't get it done last year, but we're going to turn our attention, flip the page, and see what we can do to play a little better next week.
7 guys today. Ron gets the 3 fouls early. Winston's cramping up. The character you saw today, was that about the grittiest win you've seen besides the Charleston game?
Yeah, I think, and this is what I keep saying, I really like this group. And I think that the people who watch us and kind of get struck by how talented Ron is and what a terrific big game player he is really kind of miss it. He does that because he can. Joey's a good player, and Winston made some nice plays. These other guys can play. We just kind of have a way of letting Ron do it, and he does it. And so grateful that Ron's had this 4-year career. Really appreciate everything that Winston's done for us. There's 3 more games we're trying to get next week. But we are, as a basketball program, where I want us to be. And we have a kid sitting out, Ramon Stoden, that's very good. And one of the best point guards in the state of North Carolina coming next year, and a forward from Illinois that we think is tremendous. So, I think the basketball program's in a good place. You saw that today. Ron goes out, everybody steps up, and we did it with some really key guys that are going to help us next weekend and next year.
3-point defense has been a talk all year long. They hit their first 3. I think all 4 of theirs came in the first half. What adjustments did you make to hit another?
Well, we decided we were going to try and guard them after they made the first 3 that were wide open. We made mistakes. That's the fact of the matter. We went into this game switching. And again, for people to pay attention to how we play, sometimes we switch and sometimes we don't. I think it's really one of the great advantages that we have with our group. We have a group now that pays attention to the scouting report, listens, pays attention, and tries to execute what we ask them. And defensively, I couldn't be prouder of this team. Our 3-point field goal percentage defense is not a fluke. You don't do this 33 games. Really, the first 6 games we weren't there. And then we made a couple of adjustments. We've been there really for the last 27 games, 26 or 27, where our numbers are tremendous defensively. Today, we didn't do a good job of taking care of the basketball, and that nearly cost us the game. But again, we've got to do a better job. I say it all the time. We're not a great passing team, but we sure as heck should be able to pass the ball from A to B when you're not being pressured.
You hit on this a little bit already, but you play William & Mary now next Saturday. Do you feel there's an advantage that you have, or do you feel they have the advantage going into that?
Well, I think that if there is an advantage, it probably goes to the team that just lost, because they just lost in our building, so they played a great game. They played a close game. We made just a couple more plays than them, but it really doesn't matter at this point. We go there on Saturday. It's a neutral venue. Hopefully our defense will save the day again, and we'll play a little bit more even in terms of taking care of the basketball. So we're going to throw the ball up and see who the better team is on Saturday. But it's a good rivalry. We'd certainly like to get a streak going. Maybe this starts a streak.
Jack looked like he was really limping today. I mean, what's his status?
Yeah, it's questionable, I would say, for next week. He's in pain. He's doing PT. He's icing it. The trainers are doing everything they can. He's going to PT tomorrow. We'll come back on Monday and see how he's doing.
Down the stretch, Joey hit a big 3-pointer with 27 seconds left, put you guys up 5. As a sophomore, he showed great poise. What do you think that says about his development this year?
Well, this is what I'll say about Joey. Even as a freshman, he's got a big heart. He doesn't really he thinks he's just playing 5-on-5 in the street. He doesn't really feel pressure. It's a unique thing for a young player every venue we've been in, he's taking and making shots. He'll miss a few, but it's not because he shrinks from the moment. He is a kid with a huge heart. What we're grateful for as a staff is that he's learning to play really hard. And now we're not playing 4.5 versus 5. And, we got caught in a lot of switches where he had to guard the 5. He's fronting Sheldon. And he's, Joey's obviously given up a lot there in size and weight. But Joey did everything he could to keep the ball out of his hands. He did a remarkable job. And that's the second time he's done that. We went to William Mary, and Sheldon didn't score on Joey when we got caught in a switch. So, knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't happen next week. But Joey's ready, and he's been waiting for this time. And we've had trust with him since he's been here as an offensive player. And now he's earned our respect and trust defensively.
Do you have an official diagnosis on Shakir? Is that turf toe? What do you guys?
Yeah, it's not a sprain. They had X-rays, so I don't know the answer to that. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not trying to be a doctor. I don't know what the diagnosis would be.
Do you know if Dimitri's going to be back at practice?
We thought he would actually play today, but 3 days in a row shooting the ball, his hand swelled up overnight, so didn't play today. Who knows if he plays next Saturday? It's really hard to throw somebody in a playoff situation. Certainly, he's going to want to play. He thinks he probably should start, but we'll probably bring him off the bench if he does play.
Sure. And Devontae, he was healthy today.
Yeah, we nearly went to him, thought that we would. But again, Winston goes in and played really well. And I thought that we extended Paulius' minute. We were prepared to go with 4 guards and play Devontae and would have been happy to have done it. But Paulius went in and I thought played well. I thought Winston went in and played really well, particularly offensively, where he played with poise and didn't take difficult shots. That's really what we need from Winston. And then he made a couple, which really helps.